Hey, welcome to Games Vitae. My name is Majay, and today we are continuing our very prolonged series of the top 100 games of 2025 for me. Today is numbers 60 through 51. Yep, 60 through 51. Before we get started, please remember, like, subscribe, hit the notification button, share it with your friends. Okay, first game on the list, number 60. This is a game that actually you might think that it belongs somewhere else, but I'm separating it because it's technically a different game than what it was spawned from. Let's withhold the mystery and tell you what it is. Number 61, something is falling out, is Santorini, Riddle of the Sphinx. This is a cooperative / solo game that uses the components of the original Santorini, but is very different. It's more of a puzzle solving, optimization puzzle type thing. I've only played it a couple times. I like it, and I want to delve more into it. It might be a little lower on this list just because the ordeal I had to get this box. This is actually the third box that I got for this game. The first box that I got, it wasn't aligned right, and they had to send me another one. And the next one they sent was also not aligned right. So they finally sent this one. It was aligned right. You can still feel like the tray sticking up above the box, but it is aligned right. The box will shut properly. So like I said, I've played it a few times. I want to delve farther into it. I'd kind of like to get more into it. One thing I kind of wish they had, rather than it being part of the rule book, there's a map of, as you go, you mark certain things off and it opens up different things that you can add to the game. I kind of wish they had like maybe a tear-off sheet rather than it being part of the book, because I don't know, maybe it being part of the book that's kind of like a forever thing. And it would also be nice if maybe it was dry erase. So it's something that, to me, I just wish it would have been done differently. But the idea of trying to accomplish different goals and gaining certain god powers or using them for each task is a lot of fun. And I think that this would be a game that I need to get farther into to advance my solo playing. So that's number 60, Riddle of the Sphinx. Santorini, that is, Riddle of the Sphinx. Okay, number 59, I don't own. I actually only played it recently. And again, this is one of these things that say, Majay, maybe you don't dislike party games as much as you think you do. And number 59 is Just One. We played this with my daughter, who works at a school where they institute these kind of games and in enriching the students' lives. And it was so much fun. It's where there's one person who has to guess a word, and everybody else has to provide a word that will help them guess that, and they write the word down. And before the person who's guessing can see the words, everybody reveals the word, and everybody who has a duplicate word, that word is canceled out, and they're out of the round. And only the words that weren't duplicated get to provide clues to the guesser. And I thought it wouldn't be. Before I played it, I didn't think it would be that fun. It is. It's a lot of fun. It's a great party game that it's very light, and you can pick it up and keep going if you want. It's not something that you necessarily get tired of. If anything, I've craved it more since I've played it. So, like I said, I don't own it, but it's something that you could probably theoretically play with any word generator and the rules. So Just One is something that I'd actually considered getting in my collection, hard copy. So Just One, number 59. And again, my list turned off. There we go. Number 58 is an evergreen abstract game. It is chess without a board, and that is Hive. Hive is so easy to pick up and learn, but it has got so much strategy. It's a great abstract game that you can carry anywhere. This is the full-sized Hive, and it's in a bag. I can take it with me anywhere. You can get a pocket version that's even smaller than this, and you can get the expansions for the pocket version as well. I've got all the expansions in here. I don't think there's any other expansions past the ones I've got. I'd have to look, but I haven't paid attention. It's something that doesn't hit the table as much anymore because it probably suffers from some of the same downfalls as a lot of abstract games, is that you play it and you play it a couple of times, maybe 3 times, and you say, yeah, I'm done with that. And that's just the downside of the game. But Hive is such a good game. I love it. It's a great game that I got introduced to years ago and never played it. And then after having thought about it, just kind of in the back of my mind for a while, I said, I really want that game. And I got it. And this is the carbon version. There's no difference between the carbon version and the regular version. Carbon version is just black and white pieces. The regular version has kind of like a beige color to the white pieces and a black color to the black pieces. But the individual insects are color-coded. But the game is about these hexagonal tiles. And the goal is to surround your opponent's queen bee. Each insect has its own ability, and it's just a deep strategy game. If anything, it's probably easier to learn than chess, but equally hard to master. Plays faster than chess. I think the longest game I ever played, I think, was it may have actually extended toward an hour, but that was because there was just a very unique combination that was going on that it really worked out well. But sometimes these pieces can play off each other, specifically the mosquito, who copies other pieces' powers. Yeah, I could go on and on about this game. It's a simple game. If you like abstract games and you haven't tried Hive, you are missing out. It should be part of your inventory. I could keep going, but I really love Hive. It maybe should be higher on the list, but like I said, I haven't played it a lot recently. So maybe in the coming year, I'll play it more and it'll rise. So that's number 58. Number 57, I also don't own. I recently saw an edition of it that was the deluxe Kickstarter edition that I really wanted, but it was 100 miles away, and that would have been a 200-mile trip to buy it from somebody, and I just wasn't going to do that. You actually don't see it for sale very often, but when you do see it, more often than not, it's the retail version, and that is Sorcerer City. I like Sorcerer City a lot. I think the concept is great, the art is great, the interaction of the different elements is really good. But what I don't like about it is, and it's an integral part of the game, the time. The rounds are timed, and you can get. They used to have a timer, but I don't think it's supported anymore. But to time the round, you can set it to 1, 2, or 3 minutes. And me, I'd go for 3 minutes, but other people don't find that a challenge, so they go for 1. Very seldom is there a middle ground. It's one or the other. But you draft these tiles by paying for them with money that you earn along these different tracks, which I'll explain in a minute. And in the timed round, you set these tiles down on your board. And different colors match up. And the more these different colors match up, the more it builds up on the corresponding track. And there's, oh gosh, it's been a while since I played it, but there's a money track. There's a kind of like a wild track. There's, I can't remember the other two, but these different tiles also give you points for shields, and you have monsters on your board, also on your tiles too, that you have to place. And each monster has its own asymmetric limitation that you have to overcome. And it's just a really clever game. Like I said, the only part about it I don't like is the timed limit, because I like to think about my moves. And so, sometimes these speed games don't really run next to my strengths. So maybe the more I played it, the better I'd be at it with the time element. So I'm not going to completely down on it because of the time. That's just one gripe I have about it. So Sorcerer City, if you haven't played it, it's definitely recommended by me. I think it's a really good game, and the art is great. I think Manny Tremblay does that, or Mr. Cuddington. I can't remember. The art, it's really good. And I think that the mechanisms and how it works is quite unique. I don't know of any other game that does what it does. So, and I'm kind of surprised that it doesn't really get a lot of buzz. So it's something my son introduced me to. He owns it and owns all the promo content, but it wasn't the deluxe version that has a lot of the organizers. He got his in-laws into it. It's just a fun game. So if you get the chance to try Sorcerer City, I definitely recommend it. So that is number 50. What? 57. 57. Oh boy, I've been dreading this part. 56. And I'm doing this because this is the only box I have. Everdell. Not sure what to say about Everdell. I got the complete collection. I had done my research. It looked like something I really liked. But funny enough, whenever we sit down to play a game, Everdell seldom comes up. And there's such a long period in between times we play it, we have to refresh ourselves on the rules each time. It's a bear because it's in this huge box. To tell you the truth, I think I might rather have each individual box. The components are fantastic. The organizers are fantastic. If you saw I actually have an unbox or a reboxing of this game from when I first got it on the channel. So you can go ahead and check it out. The original shipping of the box was severely damaged. And part of what was marketed on the campaign was this new big old box of storage, which now that I have it, I kind of wish I'd have something a little bit more accessible. But anyway, they sent me a new box after a lot of back and forth. Enough that, to tell you the truth, I haven't bought another game from this company since. And I've had more than enough opportunity. Anyway, I got this box. It's great. It has every game in it, but at the same time, because it has everything in it, it's actually less accessible, not more. And because the game, it didn't end up feeling quite the same. It's a worker placement game with a lot of variable setup to make it fresh, where you're card drafting and laying down in a tableau for points and for different effects that you can do. And it's resource management and point scoring with different objectives. There is a module that gives you asymmetric powers for the different factions. Like I said, this is a game that I thought I would really enjoy, and it just doesn't quite give the buzz that I thought it would. I've even considered selling it. That doesn't mean that it's not a good game. I feel like the fact that I bought everything, I owe it to myself to try the different modules, to try the different expansions. I haven't tried Pearlbrook. I haven't tried Belfair. I haven't tried Spirecrest. I haven't tried New Leaf, and I haven't tried not Mirkwood. What is it called? Mistwood. I haven't tried Mistwood, or any of the smaller modules that go along with it. This could be a game that just opens up with the right thing, but so far it hasn't. Like I said, that's probably me more than it is the game. But I'm going to keep trying this game and try and get it. Maybe trying it solo would get it more playtime. And there is obviously solo modes to Everdell, and you can't even see the whole box. It's like, ugh. It's a game that I bought with a lot of hope, and I can't say that hope was dashed until I really give it the shot that I think it deserves. So, Everdell, number 50, what? Again, the list just turns off on me. Number 56. And I'm going to put it back right where I have found it because that's the only place I have room for it. Okay. Put these games a little closer now that I can. All right. Number 55 is another game that was introduced to me by my son. He went on like a choir tour trip, and they played it there, and he says, that was so much fun. So we got it. That is Coup. Coup, I think, is a great game. It's very easy to learn, easy to play. It's got some really great interactions with the different asymmetric cards and the abilities that are accessible by everyone, the economy of the credits that you get. It's a lot of fun. I have the expansion as well, which oddly enough, I haven't played with the expansion. It replaces one of the characters with another character that's a little bit more powerful. And anyway, Coup is a great game to have with a relatively small group. I think with the expansion, you can play up to like 8 or 10, I think. But with the base game, you can play up to 6. And I think when you play up to 6, the player count can definitely affect the flavor of the game. And I think it plays better with a moderate number of players. I don't think it plays very well at 2, but when you have a lot of players, then it becomes a lot more tense and a lot more, all right, is he bluffing? Are they not bluffing? The object is each player gets 2 cards, and only you know what those cards are, and you can claim that you have those cards, which you have other cards when challenged. But it's all about bluffing and knowing when somebody else is bluffing. You're trying to eliminate other people. It's a King of the Hill style bluffing game, and it's like I said, it's got a great dynamic in how these cards play. I think it's kind of underrated as time has gone on. It's probably just become a mainstay and doesn't get a lot of buzz anymore. But it's an easy game to get. It's an easy game to play, and it's an easy game to learn for new groups. So I highly recommend Coup. Okay, number 54. 54. This list might actually be a list of games that might fall because they haven't really met up with my initial expectation, and I need to either decide to give them a chance with different expectations or move on. Number 54 is it's a great game to play. It's fairly easy. It's a tile drafting game in which you're building environments, and that is Cascadia. Cascadia has a very accessible thing, and when I'm playing it, I really like it. A few games are like that. I'm not quite sure if Everdell was one of them. sometimes in Everdell, I feel like I'm just kind of going through the turns waiting for something to happen. But Cascadia, you always have something that you're picking. You've got a tile that has an environment or multiple environments on it, coupled with an animal. And these animals go on the tiles depending on what those tiles allow. Maybe a tile doesn't allow for a fox, but you're looking for a place to put a fox down. So when you place the tile, you also place the animal, but the animal can be placed on a tile that's already in your environment. And there are scoring objectives for the different animals. There are scoring objectives for the environments and how big the environments can be and get and things like that. And it's a great, nature themed game, but it doesn't hit the table very much. I got the Landmarks edition expansion because I wanted to play with more people because I've got a larger family, and I think it works fine with larger player count. I haven't actually used the Landmarks expansion, but Cascadia is a game that I feel like, yeah, I could play it right now, but we just haven't lately. Maybe sometimes because I'm wanting a more crunchy game, and Cascadia's a little bit more light, quite a bit more light. It's really kind of a entry level, medium entry level game, and I think it has great scoring objectives, and the mechanism and how you achieve those is engaging. It's just something that I kind of wonder why we don't play more. So that is Cascadia at number 54. Number 53 is a game that hits the table a lot, and I don't necessarily understand why, because you have almost no control over what's going on. Everything about it is speculation. Camel Up. Camel Up is a situation where you have these different colored camels on a track that's only 16 spaces long. And it's circular, but that's neither here nor there. The premise of the game is that you're betting on them. You're not any of these camels. You're betting on the camels to see which one is going to cross the finish line first. And you determine that by, there's a pyramid with these different colored dice that correspond to the different colored camels. And you press the little button and a die falls out. And if it's the color of one of the colored camels, you move that camel that many places. And there are places on the board where you can put these tiles that advance or retreat a camel one spot if they land on that tile. And if they do, the person who places that tile gets a coin, and whoever has the most money at the end of the game wins. And there's also these crazy camels that start at the other end of the track going the other way. And every time a camel lands on the same place as another camel, they stack, such that if the camel on the bottom or somewhere in the stack moves, every camel on top of it moves with it. And the camel that's on top is farthest ahead. Well, if one of these camels lands on one of the crazy camels, they go back the other direction. And we have a ball because there's a color in here. We've even named the camel. He never wins. And the last time we played, it was just like last week. He was like clear shot of winning, clear winner. Everybody was going to bet on him. Next turn, he lands on a crazy camel and starts going backwards. And he doesn't win. You take bets on these camels, and you're trying to get the most money by betting on the camel that wins or the camel that takes second. If you bet on somebody that doesn't take first or second, you lose a coin. And you can make alliances with other people such that you get the highest, not share, but you also get the winnings from the same amount of winnings from their highest bet, and they get the winnings, the same winnings as your highest bet. And it's there's some neat mechanisms there, but you don't have any control over it. It's pure guessing. It's pure speculation. And you can bet on the winner and you can bet on the loser. And anyway, there's a lot of different ways to get money. But the greatest amount of fun you have with it is just the fun that you create. I think the game could be higher if there was something about the game that you could actually control. But the only thing you control is speculating. You control whether you bet on a camel or not. That's it. Whether that camel is going to win, it's absolutely a luck of the roll. So it's a game that, like I said, this hits the table a lot. It gets to the table very, very easily because of the fun we have. But I haven't tried. There's another game called Camel Up Off Season. I don't know anything about that game. From what it looks like, it's not like this at all. It's not very luck based, if luck based at all. But I'd be interested in trying it. I don't know that I'd be going out of my way to buy it, but I'd like to try it and see what it's like, because the game itself is a lot of fun. And yeah, this plays up to, I think, 8 people. Yeah, so it's kind of a party board game, and we enjoy it a lot. So that's number 53. 52 is a game I learned at a gaming group that I go to every now and then, and that is Tokaido. Tokaido's designed by the same guy who did Seven Wonders and Victorian Masterminds and a few other games. It is themed about the road from Kyoto to Edo. I'm not sure. Anyway, Kyoto to Tokyo, if I'm not mistaken, as the modern term is. And it's a player movement game where the person that is farthest behind in the track moves, and they can move to any open spot ahead of them, even the ones that are still put them behind. And at that spot, they take a certain action depending on what kind of spot it is. There are spots where you take in the panorama. There are farms where you get money. There are temples where you donate, and there are shops where you buy souvenirs, and there's set collection. There's a large part of this game is set collection, where you're collecting sets of various kinds for different reasons. And there's also basically money, where you have who donates the most money to the temple gets points as well. There's asymmetric abilities based off of what character you start with. So there's a lot of things to it. The last time I played, I think the more players that you play with, at least in my opinion, it's not as good of an experience, because the more players you play with, the less options you have of places that you can stop. You'll find yourself at the back, but there's no spaces between you and the next person, such that the best shot you have may be the next spot that's open. Because if you go ahead to the a farther spot that maybe corresponds with some of the objectives that you have, you might be passing up opportunities that other people are going to take advantage of and ultimately beat you with. I really like the game. The layout, the components, the art is something that's very thematic. That's really something that sold me on it. And I've got everything for it. It's something that I want it to hit the table more, not less. But I think I'd like to try it without as many people to see how it plays with fewer people. I think it plays up to 5 with the deluxe version. And the deluxe version has more modules than the standard version. If you're going to buy it, buy the deluxe version. It gives you more gameplay and more options. So Tokaido, number 52. And the last one on the list is definitely new to the list. This is something I didn't think I'd ever find. It's out of print, and somebody was selling it on Marketplace in shrink. I said, wow, let's get it. And I was okay with the price. Looking back now, maybe I could have. I've actually seen it out of shrink for less since then, but with it being in shrink, I can understand why somebody was charging what they charged, and that is Chinatown. Chinatown's been re-implemented by a game called Waterfall Park, designed by the same designer. I think the mechanics are roughly the same, but the theme sucks. And you can call this cultural appropriation, whatever, but it's just the better game between the two. You are getting tiles from a bag, and each tile represents a different kind of shop. And you also get cards that tell you lots on the board, and you're trying to get lots connected with each other to lay these businesses down that are alike, because the more businesses that you have that are alike, that are connected to each other, the more the business is worth each round, the more income you get. And at the end of the game, ultimately, the person with the most money wins. But the core of the game is the trading that goes on. You can trade money, you can trade lots, you can trade businesses with other players, depending on what you're wanting. And knowing the economy of the game, you calculating whether the trade is going to be worth it to you or would help the other player more than it would help you, to the point where they would win. If anything, sometimes that actually ruins the game, knowing too much. But I'd like to play it more to see if that element, I can just kind of get past that element, because I really like the game. I think it's a good game. It's very clever in how it was done. And it's very simple. You can teach this to somebody in just 10, 15 minutes, maybe at most. And it's something that it may outstay its welcome a bit, but it's something that I'm glad I have in my collection, and that's my number 51 game. Okay, that is number 60 through 51. We are halfway through, just like we're halfway through the year 2026. So I'm trying to accelerate this such that I get it done. Prime Day is coming up soon, and every year I do a Prime Day special as to what are good deals and what are not. I'm going to try and get to that this year, and I'm going to try and revamp it a little bit, because in years past I have so many games it literally locks up my computer. So I think I'm going to limit it down to a certain amount of deals and a certain amount of duds. Deals, ones that you should take a look at, and duds you should shy away from. We'll see how that goes and if I get to it this year. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. And remember, no board games were harmed in the making of this video, so keep your mind at ease. Thanks for watching.